We all show up eager to prove ourselves. But as the grind sets in, enthusiasm fades. Confusion and doubt become frustration and anxiety, until eventually we find ourselves asking, why am I here? Morale is delicate, but when we foster it and give it room to grow, it transforms work environments into places of promise and possibility, where people become forces of nature that exceed expectations and lift each other up, using solutions built to motivate and support. Because feeling like we're being heard does more than boost confidence. It empowers individuals and their teams to brave adversity, realize potential, and move mountains. That's the type of experience people want and businesses need, because the best run businesses run on human experience. This is Human Experience Management. We all show up eager to prove ourselves. But as the grind sets in, enthusiasm fades. Confusion and doubt become frustration and anxiety, until eventually we find ourselves asking, why am I here? Morale is delicate, but when we foster it and give it room to grow, it transforms work environments into places of promise and possibility, where people become forces of nature that exceed expectations and lift each other up, using solutions built to motivate and support. Because feeling like we're being heard does more than boost confidence. It empowers individuals and their teams to brave adversity, realize potential, and move mountains. That's the type of experience people want and businesses need, because the best run businesses run on human experience. This is Human Experience Management.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all staying safe, and I hope you can see the screen and hear us loud and clear. I'm Jenna Ayoub, and I would like to thank you all for attending today's webinar, Purpose Drives People. Accelerate employee performance using SAP SuccessFactors. I would like to make a few announcements. First, kindly note that this session is being recorded and will be published on our YouTube channel. Second, the Q&A mode has been enabled, and you should be able to see a question icon on the bottom right corner when you drag the side menu bar. Feel free to press the icon and type any question during the session, and we will answer them at the very end. And now we will share a quick survey on your screen just for us to know you a little bit better. I hope you can all see the survey on your screen. We would appreciate your participation. Thank you for participating. We will be sharing the results. Thank you. The agenda for today is as follows. First, we will be talking about who we are, followed by SAP SuccessFactors solution presentation, which will be led by our pre-sales and projects director, Mr. Ajay Prasad. Then, we will be showcasing the solution in action, which will be covered by our SAP HXM transformation lead, Ms. Jatika Karnani. Finally, we will have a Q&A session to answer all your questions. We're sure today's session will help you ensure strategy and goal alignment, continuously improve workforce performance through ongoing coaching and feedback, and accurately evaluate and recognize top talents. Before we dive into the presentation, I wanted to quickly share with you about Inflexion. We are a certified SAP Gold Partner for the MENA region with offices in UAE, Lebanon, Oman, and an offshore development center in India. We are in business for more than 14 years and have helped successfully deliver more than 200 projects. We were able to provide quality service to our growing 3,500 SAP licensed users through our family of about 100 plus experts, out of which 97% are SAP certified with combined 900 years of SAP solution expertise. Our deep-rooted SAP relationship, being a value-added reseller and build partners with PCOE and recognized expertise of solutions and industry verticals, provides us with an ability to deliver focused SAP solutions covering small, medium, and large enterprises, like the ERP solutions RISE with SAP, SAP S4HANA, SAP Business by Design, SAP Business One, and SAP Customer Checkout for point of sales. While we also have SAP SuccessFactors, SAP Ariba, and SAP C4HANA for the line of business. And finally, SAP Analytics and SAP Business Technology Platform, we help you become an intelligent enterprise. SAP PCOE certification is awarded post-SAP audit, which ensures we have the process, infrastructure, certified people, and SLA to deliver quality support consistently post-implementation. Our SAP recognized expertise in SAP Business One, SAP Business by Design, and consumer products highlights our commitment to customers. This designation recognizes the expertise and competencies to distinguish our capabilities from competitors in the market. The requirements include having trained and certified individuals in a focus area or industry and a track record of customer success and satisfaction. Our SAP certified and highly experienced team of consultants not only provide implementation and rollout services, but can also migrate and upgrade your existing solution. Our SAP PCOE certification ensures high quality of support, maintenance, and service levels, while our build partnership allows us to develop specific customization and adaptation for your business requirements. We can help you extend and integrate with SAP or third-party systems as well. With all of these, we serve as your single window provider for your digital transformation journey. That's about Inflexion and its expertise in a snap. And now let me hand over to our pre-sales and products director, Mr. Ajay Prasad, without further ado.
Thank you, Jana. Good morning and good afternoon to all who have joined us today. It's a pleasure to be here on the webinar. And today we would be focusing on one of the modules of SAP SuccessFactors. And prior to that, I would like to introduce you to SAP SuccessFactors, which is the human experience management solution from SAP. So let's first understand the current picture where we are as far as and why we need a solution in order to help us get a better understanding of where we are today. With the millennials, the average tenure declined from 15 years to 4 years. There are 2 million employees who quit on a monthly basis, citing workplace experience as per the US surveys, and 70% of the millennials would quit due to poor technology experience. So it's all about trying to see how we can change these numbers in our favor in our respective organizations. So, are you actually equipped to respond to these? What the market survey says, 84% of the leaders point employee experience as a top priority, but only 9% are able to achieve this. So, this is a global survey that was conducted by SAP and shows clearly a gap that exists and why we should be adapting solutions as success factors in order to ensure that we have a great human experience management system. SAP has introduced the terminology of XHM, which is human experience management. And how does that come about? It comes about with the amalgamation of the experience as well as the operational data, which comes together. So, what happens in experience management is where we listen and we understand what is being told to us, and then we take the operational data, which gives us insight, and then we act on it. So that's how XHM comes about. And let's see how SAP SuccessFactors is able to address this amalgamation of experience and operational data in a single system, in a single platform. Before we do that, we would like to also establish how SAP SuccessFactors is the leading XHM provider in the world with over 250 million active users globally and multiple multinational organizations using SAP across their varied landscapes, across multiple continents and countries where their employees are working and deployed as well. So the numbers speak for itself. It is a leading solution in the world and can always help your organization. So, from a suite perspective, what does it all comprise of? Always remember that SAP SuccessFactors gives you the option and flexibility to start from anywhere and grow anywhere, which essentially means that each of these modules can be bought as standalone modules, and then we can always build or extend these modules where and when required. So, starting with core HR, which becomes the base platform of your organization, employee record keeping and organizational management, along with global benefits and global payroll, is employee central, the module called employee central. Then we have ticket case management and document management, which comes from the HR help desk activities. Time off and time attendance are again addressed using time tracking as well as employee central. So the core HR is essentially what covers all the core operational activities in your organization. Following up with talent management, again, you have the recruitment module along with the e-recruitment as well, which is available where you can build your career portal, and you can also have internal referral portal as well, which comes along with the solution, along with a rich marketing capability for recruitment, which is very essential in order to attract the right talent today. Followed by onboarding, which is a module which allows you to transition from an employee to from a candidate to an employee experience. Then we have the learning management framework, again, which is a very large framework of solution which is available to manage virtual as well as offline as well as classroom trainings, including budgeting of the training requirements as well from a financial perspective. We have then for performance and goals, the topic of today's webinar, which Ms. Jyotika would be dwelling into, and will be showing us a couple of features and functionalities which make this product a great solution. Then we have compensation management, where you do your compensation planning. Again, you can track and budget and drill down to various levels of the compensation, including the calibration that comes from a performance and goals perspective. And finally, we have succession and development in terms of the talent management suite of products, which allows you to do succession planning and also employees to plan their career and development. All of these are also having gamification aspects and features in it, where badges and awards are also given in order to make the employees experience a better experience. Again, keep in mind that each of these modules can be bought as standalone solutions and can be implemented as standalone solutions, and then they can grow as we move along, because they have something called as a foundation aspect or an element in it which is available. From a workforce data perspective, reporting and insights is always available. From a rich analytical platform perspective, SAP SuccessFactors also gives you metrics and benchmarks that come along with it, in order for you to compare where you are today against the global standards or industry benchmarks that others have set. And you can also do predictive and planning of your workflows as well using the workflows analytics tool that is available from SuccessFactors. Finally, for the experience management, in order to get the right feedback through multiple channels, we have Qualtrics, which allows you to manage the experience management and run multiple complex surveys in order to get the feedback from your employees to merge all of this with the operational data. So this is a complete suite of product from SAP SuccessFactors, meeting all your requirements from an end-to-end perspective, of whether it be a single organization, single country, or a multiple country rollout as well. What makes SuccessFactors different from other HCM solutions is the fact that it also comes with built-in content. So there are about 19,500 plus unique HR content elements which are available, such as skill catalogs, goal catalogs, as well as reports, dashboards, and also from a recruitment perspective, we have the best practice templates as well as the job families which are available. And in today's session, Jyotika would be also presenting some of these built-in contents like the assessment writing assistant, the coaching assistant, goals catalogs, which show you that the product comes with built-in content and is very useful in any organization and can also be updated from yourself as well. It's not necessarily that you have to wait for SAP to do the update on the content, but you can do it yourself as well. So again, from a global perspective, although you might be in one country and operating in multiple countries, SAP SuccessFactors is localized, pre-localized for 99 countries and pre-localized for 46 payroll countries. Having said that, you can see that SAP SuccessFactors has been implemented and supported by partners like ourselves in 177 plus countries in order for us to be able to localize it as well. It runs on 13 global data centers, and the count of the data centers is growing as we speak. Since it's a software as a service, it also comes with half-yearly updates, which are automatically pushed from SAP onto your machines without you having to do any intervention at all. It also supports 42 languages, including Arabic, by default, and it has 1,500 plus regulatory updates in the solution annually, which are pushed as part of the upgrades and updates that are done on a half yearly basis with SAP SuccessFactors, which are rolled out globally on the various tenants and that our customers use. So that brings me to the end of SuccessFactors as a suite. So the next part of the presentation focuses on performance and goals module, which is the topic of today's webinar. So we will walk you through a couple of them. But prior to that, let's understand how performance management works today and does it make sense for the modern workforce. So most often we always focus on the past, which is not a problem, but not necessarily what the millennials are looking at today. And it's inflexible is simply because there are set patterns and these patterns are not changed often. We also take a reactive approach. There is not a proactive approach to resolving the employee's experience or resolving the employee's performance aspects of it. And the increased employee expectations given the current situation and the recent developments that have happened globally also leads to us having to look at our performance management systems as they are today. So let us see how all of these are addressed with performance and goals, a module of SAP SuccessFactors. So goal management is the essential or the first step when it comes to the performance or appraisal cycles. The first is goal management, where you align the company's objectives and engage employees through meaningful work, and they quickly adapt to the goal requirements as business priorities change. So employees can align their goals along with the company's goals, as well as the managers can cascade their goals for their team members, which ensure that they are in alignment with the company's overall goal and performance as well. Again, you engage employees through meaningful and fulfilling work in terms of it being engaging, where the goals are dynamically set and can always be changed at any given point of time. And you quickly update and adapt to the make changes that are happening in the world by updating also the goals and also the direction in which you are headed. So the goal management is a very flexible tool. Along with that comes a lot of rich built-in content where you can add various goals, which Jyotika would be showcasing today. The next aspect of it is to be proactive. In order for the organization to be proactive, the employee as well as the management or who are in line of review are also getting continuously engaged. And this happens with what we call as CPM, or continuous performance management, where there is a constant feedback that is given to the employee, or the employee themselves can also update what is happening with them in terms of the progress of their goals, what are the activities that they have undertaken, and they can also fill in some amount of their feedback as well in order for the manager to be aware of their progress. So this is something that is done on a continuous basis. The frequency could be on a daily basis or a weekly basis. There is no fixed frequency for it, and ensures that there is an interaction that is happening and continuous engagement is there. Next, we move on to the performance assessment aspect of it. So once the goals and KPIs and milestones have been set using the goals management, we then go on to the performance assessment. In the performance assessment, there are various templates that could be set, and these templates could be different for different categories of people or different job lines that you have. And these particular performance assessments are intuitive and easy, and based on specific needs. They provide a meaningful feedback and a writing and coaching assistant, as you will be able to see in the demo today, and easily assess the teams with team rater, so you can visually organize and see how the number of people, how the people are performing, how they have rated themselves, and how the managers rate them, where is the gap, what is the room for improvement, and the overall rating as well. And also gain valuable insight by asking feedback, and this feedbacks could be anonymous as well. The feedback that is given could be anonymous as well, and you can always get feedback from an external resource who is not part of your organization by using the same performance assessment tools that are available in SuccessFactors. So this gives you a rich 360-degree overview of your performance as well. After setting the goals, the performance, finally we come to the calibration aspect of the tool, where we are able to calibrate the performance of the whole organization and create bell curves, which would allow you to then take a realistic view of how the performance appraisal has happened and how the people are performing as well, and take the critical decisions. As you can see, it's a very visual and rich dashboard which is available by SuccessFactors. And we also have the 9 grid blocks which allow you to be able to categorize people based on performance versus potential, as well as objectives of the performance, and you can then take your decisions in a more insightful manner. And all of these are auto calibrated. There is no batch processing that is required, and all these records are getting updated on a real-time basis based on the methods which are being adapted and the frequency in which the appraisals or evaluations are happening. Calibrations ensure fair and objective assessments, as it says, and rewarding employees accurately is also what it helps you do as an organization. The next aspect of the SuccessFactors performance and goals, needless to say, is that it's available on handheld devices like mobiles as well as tablets, and it has its own app which can be downloaded from their respective app stores, and people can continuously engage, look at the reports, provide feedback, get interactive in terms of getting into learning as well, and have clear visibility on how they are contributing to the organization's success while they are making progress and they are achieving their goals. So all of this is available on the mobile. The performance as well as goals can be evaluated and set on a mobile device as well, away from your work desks, and at the time when you are most probably relaxed and are able to do this when you feel like. It's not necessary that you have to do it at the office. You can always do it at the comfort of your home or a comfort of a coffee shop when you are relaxing and then you are updating your status. So complete accessibility is available. And from a licensing perspective, the mobile access is by default available for all employees for whom you license SuccessFactors, and is not necessarily sold separately. It comes by default and everybody gets access to these devices and applications as well. Although using roles and authorizations, we can restrict those mobile access, but it's available by default as well. So this is how SAP SuccessFactors is able to fulfill the performance and goals and is unique by itself. I hope all of you will agree on this statement. And as you can see, it's forward looking, so it focuses on improving the future performance and not what has happened in the past. It's flexible in order for you to be able to change your goals, change your path, and take the right approach. It's comprehensive because it gives you a complete continuous performance management 360-degree view, as well as multiple templates to have your multiple appraisal cycles. And it is proactive in order for you to be able to take action before somebody tells you, whether it is an employee or whether it is a manager. They are all able to manage themselves well. So that brings me to the end of my presentation, and I shall now hand over the presentation to Ms. Jyotika. She would be walking us through the solution itself before we get into question and answer session. Thank you all for listening to me, and I will connect back with you in the Q&A session.
Thank you, Ajay. Greetings to one and all. SuccessFactors Performance and Goals Management comprises of two parts: Goals Management and Performance Management. Goals Management facilitates and automates process of creating, aligning, monitoring, and measuring organizational and individual goals. There are various ways of creating a goal: by mass importing, or via library, or smart goal, or by cascading. Let's create a goal by library. SuccessFactor provides with exhaustive list of library, and apart from this library, we can create our own library as well. I would now navigate to sales. Sales is further divided into three parts as we see: channel sales, individual sales, and sales management. For now, I would pick up a goal from individual sales and select the goal that is required. When I add this goal, most of the fields get auto-populated, which are further editable as required. I would then complete rest of the fields and also see that apart from weightage, I have a start date, a due date, which is editable. Percentage completion is updated after the goal is updated. The status of the goal, any data to be linked to support the goal, any milestone or deliverable to be added, updating the actual and target execution, the probability of success, which is measured between low, medium, and high, also to define if this goal is a strategic or a non-strategic goal. Once the needful is done, and I click on Save Changes, and that's when a goal is created. Similarly, we can create a SMART goal. SMART goal, as the name suggests, should be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. It is as simple as selecting a category, typing the goal as required, and once I start typing, I see that the goals are suggested from the library that we just saw. I would select the required goal and edit as required again and click on Next. I see that the metric, which is measurable, is already added and I can add further. Next, the system would ask if the goal is attainable, either yes or no, or if it is relevant. I can also align it with an existing goal or the time bound. Once this is done, I may add more fields as we did in the last sheet and update the goal. Once the goal is created, it can be cascaded in just a few clicks. For example, we want to cascade the goal. We would select the goal, and on actions, we would click on cascade. We have a probability of cascading the goal to all the team members at once or selecting the required team members. We can edit the goal as required and cascade. With this, our goal is cascaded. Going forward, we have many options. Like, as a manager, I can have a quick view of the status of cascaded goals. Now, if employee wants, they can check for learning activities or courses with regard to specific goal. Also, as a manager, I can navigate to my team members' goal sheet and add courses as required. After the goals are updated comes the performance management. Performance reviews help organization measure individual contributions so that they can decide who to keep, reward, or single out for targeted development. As we land on the performance section, a manager can have a quick view of team status. For example, here we see that Mr. James Clean is done with the self-assessment and now it is waiting for manager assessment. As I have logged in as manager, once I click up on this tab, I would be taken to the performance review sheet of Mr. James Clean. Similarly, here we see that Ms. Jada Baker has received one of the two feedbacks. Also, Ms. Jackie Andrina's performance form is still on self-assessment. Apart from this, we also have a team rater. And when we click on team rater, manager can see a detailed list of competencies with rating given for all. So we can see that just by hovering on the screen, full update can be captured in a jiffy. Now let us see how Jada's performance review looks like. The sheet shows that as of now, Jada's rating is 4, which is outstanding. She has 0 incomplete items in her stack. And out of the team of 8, she is on number 1. Also, the supporting documents and the feedback from external are updated in this section. And the gap analysis, a quick view of a positive and the negative gap of the employee versus manager rating is updated. Going forward is the route map, which shows what were the past steps from which the form navigated to the present step and what would be the future step, the step ahead. This route map is highly configurable as per requirement. Going ahead, we see goals. The goals that are already updated or rated by the employee and now are also rated by the manager. As we see up here that for this goal, Jada rated herself a 4, but managers rated herself a 5, which is a gap of 1. A positive gap of 1 shows up in green. And the goal in which Jada's and manager's rating is same has a 0 gap. Similarly, If there is any negative gap, negative as in wherein the employee rated themselves more versus the manager, the gap shows up in a red. This is a very quick view to understand the status of the ratings given by manager versus employee. Also, for the comments, we have SuccessFactors provides us with Writing Assistant. Writing Assistant is again a predefined library which can suggest the narrative as per the rating. If it is for the improve or meets expectation or exceeds, we can select any one of them, and we can select if the narrative should be by name or by first person, and place quote likewise. This writing assistant can further be edited as required. Also, when these goals are assigned to the employees, the regular activities done to achieve these goals are documented in form of continuous performance management, and the achievements are updated automatically on the same page. When the performances appraisals are going through, whatever activities that an employee underwent are documented in continuous performance can be seen in continuous performance section. Here, we can create an activity, align them with the goal, so that when the activity is completed, it can be auto-updated in the goal, and whatever meetings and discussions happens, gets updated in the same activity. Also, for any activity, a manager or the employee can also ask for feedback. Once the activity is over, it can either be updated manually to complete or just drag and drop to complete. The system would ask if this is an achievement, as in if it was completed in a positive or a negative, and if we click on a yes, it makes it as an achievement. After performance evaluation, calibration is done. Calibration helps us to bring objectivity to performance, pay, and succession. Here we see the standard dashboard, which shows a difference between the guideline versus the actual. This standard dashboard can be viewed as number of subjects or distribution percentage as required. And it can also be downloaded, and the needful can be done. Next is the list view, wherein we can have a quick view of the overall rating of the employees. The performance view shows the calibration chart, which in other words can also be a bell curve. The system also gives suggestions of adding or removing the employees' names to attain the bell curve. And I can do this just by dragging it to the required section. Over here, I also see certain indicators which are coming from succession module, which also makes me understand in just one view of if the employee is nominated as a future leader, the reason of leaving, impact of loss, risk of loss, etc. After the calibration, we have another type of performance review, which is called 360-degree review. 360-degree review helps organization collect feedback on employees' performance and behavior from everyone, both inside and outside an organization. Typically, 360-degree multi-rater is a small 3 steps function, which starts with employee nominating the raters. Here, they can add the participants or remove the participants. Once they are done, they can send it for manager's approval. The managers may have similar permissions where they can further add or delete the existing nominators. Here, they can also add external stakeholders. Once the manager is done, and then this is sent out for rating to the nominators. The nominators can choose either to reject the feedback request or give the feedback request. This feedback request can be received as anonymous to certain stakeholders or as named participants. Now over here we see out of the list, 2 participants has updated the review which are showing up as anonymous. If I click here, I can see the full feedback one by one. I can also take the printout of full page or selected sections as required. I can nudge those who have not yet updated the feedback, and I can also open a detailed 360 report which shows again standard dashboards ranging from the overall rating, which shows what all rating has been given from which all stakeholders, which can be viewed as a tabular form as well. The competency feedback, which can be say maximized and can also be viewed in a tabular form. Also, competency-based feedback from all the stakeholders in a graphical and a tabular view makes our assessment very quick and the decision making fast. This brings me to the end of my system demo. We shall now share another survey based on today's presentation. Thank you.
Kindly participate in the survey. We'd appreciate all your participation.
This is anonymous. Say it's anonymous. Please participate.
Please note that this survey is anonymous, so you can participate freely.
Thank you for your participation. We are open for questions. I hope the presentation as well as the demo from Jyotika was valuable to you. We look forward to questions. Do type your questions in the Q&A mode. We keep the survey open for a couple of more Thank you for your participation. We'll move on to the last part of the webinar. Let us share the results. You should be able to see the results. Great. So let's move to the Q&A session. And Jana, would you be kind enough to... So Mr. Basil is asking, does SAP SuccessFactors have a payroll? Yes, it does have a payroll. It's got a payroll engine which can be implemented as well. We encourage you to ask any further questions. Success factors can be, Mr. Basil, in addition to your question, yes, it can be integrated with SAP Business One as an ERP. So the integration does happen with SAP Business One, and that is something that is done in the past by us, and it is possible to be integrated as well. So we have a question from Charu. It says, does the performance manage tie up with payroll in terms of updating salary increase? The performance management actually leads the way for you to be able to calibrate, and then the changes in the salary has to be updated in the compensation module, and from compensation it can flow into the payroll and the record of the employee in Employee Central as well. But performance management alone would only be able to give you the rating and the appraisal cycle alone. So in continuation is and sample for bonuses. All of these bonuses, benefits are all managed in the compensation module. Performance and goals becomes an input to the into the compensation module, and from compensation the employees records are updated in Employee Central, and then information can flow into the payroll as well. So the next question from Mr. Basil, self-service module. SAP SuccessFactors is an employee-centric solution. Everything is self-service based. All the interface that Jyotika was showing is for managers and for employees as well as for the HR. So the only way in which SuccessFactors distinguishes is the additional administrative module, which is given then to the HR or to the IT in the organization. But SAP SuccessFactors is very much employee centric, and it is driven by the employee more than the HR. So how can it, Miss Ellie asked, how can it make better decisions when it comes to promotions? Essentially, Miss Ellie, when you have performance and you have your performance set, and when you do your appraisals, if you find that people are within the bell curve, in case they are achieving their objectives and they are achieving their goals, and you find them in the higher scale of the rating, which Ms. Jyotika was showing, then it means that they could get promotions. And essentially, also we have a module called as career development and succession planning, which can help you with actually getting into managing the promotions as well. Great, thank you, Mr. Ali. Any further questions? Thank you, Mr. Basil. Thank you. Any further questions? Anything else that you would like to ask? As far as HCM is concerned or SuccessFactors is concerned, we are welcome to take those questions as well, even if it's not covered in today's topic. Good afternoon, Maha. So how can you outsource this version to Lebanon? Yeah, we do have customers in Lebanon who are using SAP SuccessFactors, and we are currently involved in implementations as well as there are multiple customers who are using SuccessFactors in Lebanon. It's very much possible to deploy the solution and use it from Lebanon also. Well, if you're looking at performance and goals, and then in that case, it is adapted globally, so it can be customized to Lebanon as well. So Mr. Basil has a question. What about time attendance? Can we know more about it? And if it's integrated with attendance machines, import of Excel or reading from machine, or how exactly? So Mr. Basil, SAP SuccessFactors has a module called as time tracking. This module it then complies with SAP Employee Central and Payroll, and is used essentially to interface with biometric devices. And the interface between these devices could be offline in terms of Excel or comma separated values, or could be online in terms of APIs as well. It does support shifts and all of that. We covered most of these topics in our previous webinar of Employee Central. So yes, SuccessFactors is able to cover, is able to take care of shifts, is able to take care of time offs, which is basically leave management, as you would call it, and attendance as well. We are the main supplier in Lebanon, Ms. Maha. Our team would get in touch with you. So you would have someone from our team reach out to you, and we could have a one-to-one session as well. Do you have a presence in Australia? No, currently we do not have a presence in Australia, but we can implement in Australia, but we do not have currently a presence in Australia as Inflexion as an organization. Great to see all the questions. Some of them were quite challenging to answer. We appreciate more questions coming our way. We do have 7 more minutes of the webinar. No, we do not offer any training. We do have a fresh SAP program where we offer a roadmap from an internship to an employment perspective, but we do not offer any formal training or certification for SAP SuccessFactors. Yes, we should be able to organize other webinars as well on SAP and other HR related aspects of success factors in the upcoming months. We definitely would also be able to do a one-to-one interaction with you as well, and take things forward and give you a complete perspective of how the product and what functionality and how we can draw up a roadmap for your organization. Thank you so much, Ms. Ma. We have a question from Srinivas. How compatible is SAP SuccessFactors to integrate with other ERP systems like Epicor, Infor, etc.? SAP SuccessFactors is a standalone solution, so it's not necessarily that it works only with SAP ERP. It does integrate with other ERP systems as well. SAP SuccessFactors also has a integration interface which is available, which allows for both inbound and outbound message flows. So it's very much compatible with other ERP systems which are not native to SAP as well. Further to that, if you want to look at integration, we basically will have a discussion, understand, discover what the customers' needs are, and then based on that, we can understand the different touch points that would be required to integrate and take things forward from there. Thank you, Mr. Srinivas. We do have a couple of minutes left. If there are any further questions before we end the session today. How can we check the recorded sessions? We would be uploading it on our YouTube channel in due course of time, probably by the end of the week. And we will share the link as well to all the attendees who have joined us in today's session. Ms. Mahat, this again depends on the number of employees. We have SuccessFactors is licensed based on the number of employees that you have. So we have, we do not have a minimum. We do have instances of customers having close to about 100,000 plus employees who have access to the system as well. One case being Microsoft themselves are globally using SAP SuccessFactors for their employees across the globe. And they have a user count of almost around 1,400, if I'm not wrong. Absolutely. It's all based on the company's needs. So, depending on the number of employees that you have, we license success factors, and then you can decide whom to give authorization to access the system as well. We have one last minute to squeeze in a couple of more questions. Thank you all for your attendance and participation. Much appreciated. We will be in touch with all of y'all in order to further answer your questions and also engage with a one-to-one session. Thank you to Jyotika as well as Jana for hosting this webinar today. And we do take leave and look forward to seeing you in our next webinar. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day and stay safe.
I would now share my screen.